What's going on, everybody? If you're clicking on this video as of right now, uh, the title reads Channel Going in Hiatus. Let me explain and let's talk about it. Um, if you follow me on social media, I received some good news on a opportunity given to me. And in about a few days' times at the time of this release, I will already be on the East Coast working with a company. And this company has been a part of my childhood since day one. And it's an internship as of right now. At the time, I'm going to go kind of vague on what I'm going to be doing, but I'm giving this opportunity to be a part of this company. And of all things, I'm excited and just ready for this next opportunity. But let me talk about the channel, why I did the channel, and I'm ready for this new adventure. So to those who already know, thank you again for your support. And thank you for just knowing that where I'm about to go next is something really big, and I'm excited to go here. So, basically, I'm gonna go through a list of things here. The backstory of this channel, I used to do, well, I still do. I did reviews on Instagram, and I came up with AMS Movie Reviews, and then I decided to create the videos. I decided to create videos on the movie reviews, and I always had people telling me about. Let me just go ahead and kind of have the channel next to me. Give me a second here. So if you all have never seen the channel, this is it right here. Content creator, film fanatic. And as we go through the listing here, I created a bunch of little shorts. And just different things. I'm a Funko collector, if you already didn't know that. And let's just go through the list of videos. And when I first went to school, I had to do video projects. And one of my very first video projects was filming a documentary short film of Waco tanks. And to those who don't know where I'm from El Paso, Texas. And for me, I wanted to create a documentary film instead of an actual short film. So I like being outdoors, and pretty much it's one of those that I help create. And I'll leave a list of the links of all the videos you guys can check out later on. And then at the same time, I created a short film, The Letter. Thank you to all those who have seen it and the gist of it. And then as we can start to proceed, I'm not gonna click on all of them, just kind of vaguely go through each of them. I created little news stories. I took a news video type creative class. One right here, documentary short film on the El Paso Mission Trails. And then I created a mockumentary short. Then there's little tutorial videos of how to use a camera and creating the sound and stuff. And then from the short film, The Letter, I also created like an extended edition, a deleted scene, you could say, because the way I submitted it the first time, a professor wanted that certain moment out, and once you see it, or if you haven't seen it, you'll kind of know the gist. And then as we proceed here, I did another little mini short film project, 2 minutes long, camera work tutorial. Then my documentary short that I, instead of was in charge, I was more the cinematographer. Then I have to give praise to a very good friend who says that she liked the way my voice sound and said I should do a podcast because I'm like, and I contemplated it. I had people in the past say that I should create a YouTube channel because the times that I ended up always just doing reviews on Instagram and things like that. And don't get me wrong, it's always been a thought. I follow people on YouTube, as many some of you do follow them as well, of the different movie reviews and stuff. And so it was one of those where okay, and I'm not gonna go through all of them, but I can go through. I'll go through the playlist here, and I'm gonna go through the playlist. Give me a second. Oh nope. Let's go back. Let's just go back to the videos portion. The very first one, I'll admit I was nervous and I didn't know how to start it off. And I got the critique and stuff, and I'll go into the hiccups and everything about that later. Um, it's one of those that it was a question of why do I, for me, everybody loves something in particular. I love movies. I've always have since I was young. The making of movies, the story behind them, the different genres, the actors, the moments in history. And as you can see, I continue to do movie sagas and trilogies, comic book movies, sports movies. Then I decided to change it up, movie talk, news, and I decided to do March movie preview, reboots, remakes, movie talk, conversation with a friend. I'll get a little bit into that in a second. April movie month, discussing of what movies came out in April. Then video game movies, biopic, who's your favorite movie character, summer movie preview, the writer's strike, animated movies, ranking the Spider-Man films, and then just recently Pixar, Batman movies, movies with an ensemble cast, action movies. And they've each had their fair share of attention. For me, I was okay with this was just something like practicing the guitar in a way or an instrument and trying to create a new song. And obviously, the more popular ones, it caught the attention. And I appreciate you all for watching and listening whenever you can. And some of them didn't, which was okay. And that's when I try to stray into different ideas. And then doing different sorts of suggestions. And then as we keep, let me go back here for a second. I started doing my first movie review on video, which was of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, then Ant-Man, then Creed 3, then a first time movie watch of Memento, John Wick, Super Mario Brothers, Heat, Air, the story about the Air Jordans. I did a review on a documentary series called Dear Mama, and then a documentary about Warner Brothers, The Little Mermaid, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and I just enjoy talking about it. No, I'm not a professional. I just see it through my eyes, and I don't intend any of you all to follow me. Just maybe see my point of view, because I'm not trying to force you to like what I like. To me, I feel that films are subjective. Films are subjective in general because I've known people friends in the past that like a particular director, like a particular genre. As you obviously saw here on my podcast episodes, I did comic book movies. Not everybody loves comic book movies. There's a whole list of different topics that I could have created on the podcast that that I could have easily have talked about, or I could still talk about later on down the road. But for the most part, that's what I've done thus far. And I've enjoyed every single minute of creating all these things. When I was attending school, just studying to become a digital media major. And throughout all this, there's the hiccups and the situations that you're all going to have. And to anybody that is wanting to create a channel, by all means, go out and do it. If it's something like this, then don't be afraid to do it. You're going to have your ups and downs. Like I said in the beginning, when I first started doing original content, people said, oh, it was okay. It could have been a little bit better. Or not for me. I prefer video over audio. So I took all that critique and I started changing things up. And then for the most part, I was just trying to come up with different ideas. And to all those that start to want to create these things, I'll give you all some advice. I'll show you here some tools that it's one of those. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the channel for all the playlists and different things like that. First, I started out with a audio recorder, which I don't have with me, but you can find those on Amazon. And I was just recording my voice. The audio was sounding great, adjusting it and everything. Then I decided to upgrade, and what's recording me right now is this webcam, HP webcam, that is connected, and you can find that on Amazon. It pretty much does what it's doing right now. So as I'm waving to the camera. Then as you see, this device that's in front of me right here is also available on Amazon. I do a lot of shopping on Amazon. Microphone, the audio sounding is fantastic. It comes with the stand. It comes with the cap for your headset. And unfortunately, it has to be plugged into your computer. It's not wireless, because if I were to turn this off, well, I could remove this just to show you guys. I can remove this from the stand. And other than that, what other tools have I used? What is on facing me right now in the light is this little device that I've used in all my audio or my film projects. And the lighting is pretty good. And I'm going to just show you right here. You're able to adjust it and just do different things like that. And also, another thing too, whatever you all are willing to invest in whatever you can afford. Because obviously, everybody's budget's different. And like I said, if you don't want to do this sort of thing and it's something else like art, music, anything in the world, whatever it is that you want to invest, just make sure you're willing to invest in it and keep at it. There was times when, as I said in the beginning, I didn't want to do it, but I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And like I said, for me, it was all this content that I've created for you guys. It was just kind of like to just practice at my craft. The videos of how I've done it, I've used Adobe Premiere Pro, Storyblocks, and right now the video I'm recording on is StreamYard. You do have to pay memberships and things to use them, or you can find easier ways. There's different sites that help you create the content of what you want to create. And Like I said, that's kind of the gist of it. And just be patient on moments because for me, I had issues with my internet, um, is especially the conversation talking with a friend. Kevin Rios, thank you for being one of the first. And don't worry, I'll explain about other stuff to possibly happen in the future. We started recording, and I explained it on the episode I had him on. Started trying to record, and my computer, I guess, couldn't hack the different thing, the speeds, and even right now, the computer, my laptop that I'm on, you just have to be patient and just try to like utilize what you have, and it's not going to come out perfect. And that's the process of just doing these sorts of different things. And as I said, all this is just help me practicing my craft. And one thing also too, I decided, and I guess I could have done more, but I ended up creating some artwork here, and some little merch to those who have watched the podcast, pointing in the direction of the video here, right there, AMS Podcast. I decided, if you've never heard of it, it discusses things about films, past, present, and future. I have my intro, my outro, and I have my setup, and I'm going of like what other thoughts and things I had in mind. But I created this shirt right here, and oh, this is one of the t-shirts I created. Get a good, and it says the catchphrase that I always say. And sorry for that. This is another one. This is the logo you see on the thumbnails. This is another t-shirt I created. I decided to do that. And I could have, yes, I could have done more. Just so there was some issues the second time I tried to order a t-shirt, but I'm proud of what I've done thus far in creating that podcast. And like I said, even though this is the last video for a while, I will have probably, I will definitely have placed a few more podcast episodes before, obviously, this, you all see this video here. And then I decided to create this some artwork, and I created this poster. Let me turn off this light. I created this poster for the podcast, and it basically is just where anything that you all want to do. This was on Kavana, and this is the artwork for the podcast. I appreciate all of you who have listened, and trust me, like I say, it's never say never that I will not be, I will bring it back eventually. I just don't have an exact date when, and I'll go more into detail on that. Another artwork I did is my first kind of full length short film, even though it's the term short film. I created this poster, and of the actors, thank you to Mara, Milton, and Hosea for being a part of it. And then trying to get the angle. Thank you to my very good friend George Serrano, my dad, who has also helped me film a little bit of it. I wrote the script, edited, and directed by myself. This is another thing you can create on Kavana of any kind of artwork, thumbnails, t-shirts, different things like that. And it's been just a way of creativity, and I'll get into detail on that. And then I created this poster of the documentary Corner of My World. Thank you to Lennon Romo and Oscar for getting to know you and be a part of this. And is the caption reads, "What are you passionate about?" And so, like I said, it's been a process. Along the way, you meet people, you have people give you ideas, take those ideas, take that criticism, and and you might receive negative criticism, and that's fine, but don't let it bring you down. And for the most part, let's go into another few things I want to talk about. Like I said, I had other ideas of getting creative, and I did want to. I did say I was gonna have interview conversations or talks with the friends off of the podcast. And the only thing though is just time didn't permit for me, and I just obviously had to fit around other people's schedule. And who's to say that I didn't? Um, I'm not gonna be able to do it down the road. Where I'm going, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I could do Zoom calls with them and conversations like that. So there was so many other ideas that I was willing to do and to create, and I was even willing to do creating another documentary short, original idea of my own, and a lot of these, all the videos that you saw in the beginning, those were original ideas or inspirations to creating the different things. And I'll leave you links to each of the playlists. If you don't want to see everything, that's fine. You want to see individual stuff, by all means, you're welcome to. And for the most part, let's talk about myself. As I stated in the beginning, when I first went to school back in 2011 and 2015, I studied for a criminal justice degree. I wanting to go a certain path and thinking I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it got me nowhere. And for about 2015, I was given a place of work. And I'm not going to go into, like I said, personal details or certain things. It got me to a moment where I didn't end up finding what I was meant to do at first. To those who know me personally, I went into a very low point for a certain amount of time. I went into depression, and mentally, it did affect me in a way that my mind never thought it could take me there. That's how I'm going to put it. I went into a dark place sometimes, and to each your own. If you know, I didn't seek therapy. Everybody's different. I'm not telling you to you do whatever you feel comfortable doing. And no, I didn't talk to people during that time or tell them how I felt. I was just processing certain things in certain ways and why it had to happen this way. And for the most part, it was just me just trying to get out of this funk or the situation that I was in. And for the most part, it was, I decided I'll bring up this in a way. At the time, the mentally of what I was going through, I saw the comedian Kevin Hart on the Joe Rogan podcast, and not well, don't how do I put this? One thing that caught me in my mind of what he said in moment is, and this is to all of you who are kind of feeling lost or feeling out of place. Because it kind of changed my perspective in a way and brought me out of the funk that I was in. I'm going to try to remember verbatim, not word for word, but basically he said, what is your book gonna say? You are the author of your own story, and when it's all said and done, what is the book and like what is your pages gonna be on your book? And where I was at that time, I was like, I don't want this to be my book. I don't want this to be my story. And when you're writing a story, you're a writer, you go through rewrites. Well, you know, when you read a paper in school, college, high school, whatever, you have to make edits because the professor wants your writing to make sense. And you want to make sense of your life and your perspective, then by all means, there's no reason you can't change your story. So I decided in 2020 to go back to school a second time and study digital media. Digital media audio production, it's a longer term, but digital media for short. And once I went through this process, showing you the stuff I did while I attended school, it basically brought me to realizing that I was happier. I got out of that funk. My headspace was different. My outlook was different. I now know that maybe certain things led to the reason that I wasn't getting where I was going to be the first time around. And knowing, as you saw in the beginning of the video, where I'm headed, there's a whole lot of determination and different things of what's to come. And as I kind of just reference, it's definitely put me more on focus. And like I said, yes, as you saw the channel, I love talking about movies. And wherever the road is going to take me, I hope that it's going to be, if it doesn't deal with film, that's fine. But if it becomes more of, I'm wanting to work with other people, because all these projects I've done or people I've talked to, they've helped me come up with the ideas, or I've shared my ideas, the creativity. I want to just be a part of a team of people, give you the audience, my friends and family, the people that watch on occasion, or the amount of followers I have on my channel. I want to create something for you, and it's not for me about getting famous about it. It's just something I love. I'll worry about the fame and all the recognition later. I just a family member told me that, and the kind of person I am, I like to entertain people, be very outgoing and very friendly, and that's kind of the gist of where my head at and headspace is at, and what I hope to accomplish down the road. So, like I said, to those who if you're passionate about something, it's something like this, talking about any topic in the world, then turn that into a career and make that your job. And yes, some people see things differently, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm just showing you my perspective, and maybe whatever I say can help you, then that's great. And to those that we all have to work for a living. We do. People. There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's teachers, engineers. There's just everything from A to Z. And no, you don't have to go to school to do some of those things. And yes, you do. You can go to technical school, online schools. The possibilities are endless for you. Do whatever it is you love, because back then at the time, I woke up every day not being happy in the position that I was, And I decided to change that for myself. And it led to me just realizing, you know what, this isn't for me. And I wanted to make those changes and just definitely realize that there was something else out there for me. And I know that now, and I'm going to use the passion I have for what it is I want to do. And who's to say it might relate to something like this, or maybe it doesn't. But I'm going to definitely try to come back, even though I'm going to put the channel on hiatus. And to anyone out there, do whatever it is that you love. If it's talking about sports, you want to be a sportscaster, an actor, an actress, director, filmmaker, a model, a singer, a politician, a teacher, anything, go do it. But just as long as it makes you happy, and I don't want to, whatever, like I said, whatever way you perceive this, that's up to you. To those who want to take this in as a little bit of advice, let's you yourself are your biggest critic. You'll have your doubters and your supporters, and it's up to you to decide, are you going to be the one to do what it is that you want to do in life? And that's something I've had with me by my side since kind of redirecting myself in the way and where I'm heading. And a lot of people are going to say no to you, and some will say yes. But to the ones that say no, don't let that bring you down. Don't. It brought me down, and I realized it back then is maybe was meant to happen this way, and just to make sure that it was like, okay, maybe there's something else. And realizing now to this day as I'm talking to you all, okay, maybe that all those rejections were meant because where I'm going is the next opportunity of all things. And so, yeah, just like I said, um, I'm gonna just put the channel on hiatus. Um, you could call it, and yes, as you saw, I referenced comic book movies in the beginning. You can call this the phase one of the channel. I will definitely try to bring it back, not right away, but as soon as I can. It'll just take time and see where my new opportunities lie. And yeah, I want to thank those who have given me the support, the ideas, the advice along the road, and pretty much just appreciate each and every one of you for watching, subscribing to the channel. If you're a new viewer and you watch every so often, because I know I'm not the only thing that's on YouTube. I don't have TikTok, and there's even I could probably do a 30-second clips of the AMS podcast on TikTok, and it still probably wouldn't get the amount of views because there's just so much content out there. And before I go, I just want to say, just like I said, I wish all of you nothing but the best. Be nice and kind to one another. To, like I said, to anyone who is passionate about something, just if that's something you want to do for the rest of your life, you're going to get paid for working, yes, but if you're passionate about what you love, then go do that. Go make that your career, and the money will be there afterwards. And like I said, I'm not trying to get famous in any way, and it might seem motivational, but like I said, my where my headspace started off and where it is now, I feel motivational to myself, and maybe one day, someone will tell me they saw this video and they got the motivation to go do whatever it is that they love. And other than that, I wrote a list of notes here. I just want to, yeah. I appreciate everybody that I've come across with in making all those videos. And later on down the road, like I said, in the meantime, if you all have seen my stuff, share it to anybody else that might think that it's interesting as well. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you all so much. And don't worry, like I said, I'll be back. And in the meantime, um, I, I'm just at a loss for words. I'm just ready for this next adventure and this next opportunity. Um, yeah, just be yourself. Like I said, be yourself. It's okay to take the rejections because eventually you'll get there. I wish woulda, coulda, shoulda. Leaning back, I wish things could have happened differently. But like I said, it is what it is. You just got to take it in and enjoy the ride. Life, as I'm saying, when I watch movies, you're watching a movie from start to finish. It's a roller coaster of emotions. I've dealt with different things, experienced different things, and I appreciate every single one of you. And that's it for now, guys. I'm Adrian Michael Soto. Thank you for watching the podcast, the AMS Movie Reviews, my projects, reactions. You take care of yourself. I'll see you all real soon. And that's it for now, guys. Bye bye.